People say Matthew misquoted Isaiah. They say the word alma in Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14 only means young woman, not virgin. And they use that to claim Matthew invented the prophecy about Christ. But honestly, this argument is smoke and mirrors. The real question is not language but identity. Who controls the scriptures? Who claims to define them? The rabbis who argue about Alma were not the 12 tribes of Israel. They were infiltrators from Babylon. Ezra shows this clearly. They approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the families, saying, "Let us build with you, because like you, we seek your God, and have been sacrificing to him since the time of King Esarhaddon of Assyria, who brought us here." But Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and the other heads of the families of Israel replied, "You have no part with us in building a house for our God, since we alone must build it for the Lord, the God of Israel, as Cyrus king of Persia has commanded us." That's from Ezra chapter 4 verses 2 and 3. Do you see? They admitted they came up under Esarhaddon from Assyria. They were settlers. They were not covenant Israel. And Ezra continues, "Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah, and troubled them in building, and hired counselors against them, to frustrate their purpose, all the days of Cyrus king of Persia." That's Ezra chapter 4, verses 4 and 5. That is the true origin of the rabbinic system, not from the 12 tribes, but from Babylon. That's why their debates about Alma versus Parthenos are irrelevant. Christ was born of a virgin, as Matthew wrote. "Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, God with us." That's from Matthew chapter 1, verse 23. Matthew used the Greek word parthenos, which always means virgin. He was not inventing. He was recording fulfillment. The infiltrators wanted to undermine that testimony. Jesus himself exposed them. "I know the blasphemy of them, which say they are of Judah, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan." That's from Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. And again, "As for those who belong to the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be of Judah but are liars instead, I will make them come and bow down at your feet, and they will know that I love you." That's Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. God never commanded synagogues. They were built by the rabbis among the Gentiles where the lost 10 tribes were, as replacements for the temple when the infiltrators wanted power. Whoever controls the temple controls the people. That's why they wanted to help build in Ezra. That's why they still want to rebuild today. The Temple Institute openly prepares for a third temple, but Christ destroyed the temple system they relied on. "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." But he spoke of the temple of his body. That's from John chapter 2, verses 19 and 21. The apostles warned about these false leaders. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. That's from 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 13 through 14. Paul also reminded the true 12 tribes, "You are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them." That's 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. So, don't be distracted by their word games. The Alma argument is a cover. The deeper truth is that the rabbis were never of the 12 tribes. They were Babylonian impostors who tried to control the temple, opposed Christ, and persecuted his bride. Ezra unmasked them. Christ judged them. Revelation calls them what they are. The synagogue is of Satan. If you would like to dive deeper into this subject, consider becoming a channel member, where we explore in more detail the deceptions of Zionism and its religion.